Hi everybody, welcome back to day number 28 of 31 days of your scrapbooking Q&As. I'm Lain Ehmann, and I am excited to be here. And I am a little bit sad that we're wrapping up this month, but we will be back next month with more Q&As either on the podcast or videos or on the blog, so never fear. All right, today's question comes from Susan B722, who says, any tips for organizing inspiration? I do have a Pinterest board, but I also have a lot of pages ripped from magazines, sketches that I've printed out from online sites, and idea books with dog-eared pages. I'd like to have a system to help me find things faster. Sometimes I spend way too much time looking for something when I could actually be making something. Thanks for all the fun you bring to this hobby. Thank you, Susan. And as you could probably guess, I do have some ideas for inspiration. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit and talk about organization in general. One of the best pieces of advice regarding organization that I ever received was from Madame Abby Garvey, who talked about organizing in the way that you like to access things. She was specifically talking about organizing scrapbooking or crafting items and talking about how some people like the look of sealed bins, like closed storage that's opaque so you cannot see what's inside. But although you like the look of that, it is very difficult for some people to find what they have if it's not spread out in front of them. Other people like open containers like buckets and like to sort through things. Other people like to have open containers that are clear, open containers that are opaque, closed containers that are cleared, closed containers that are opaque. It really depends on how your mind works and what works best for you. And I think the same thing is true when it comes to inspiration. Now, when I started scrapbooking over 10 years ago, I was a magazine addict. I loved the magazines with dog-eared pages, just as you're talking about. And then I found that those magazines were piling up. So I thought, I will be extremely organized. I will rip all those magazine pages out and I will organize them in binders according to categories. So I now have about 6 or 7 binders on my shelf that are different categories. I have one for color combinations, one for scrapbook rooms, one for tutorials. I just have, like I said, half dozen of these, and you know what? I never look at them. It is so sad, and I can't bear to get rid of them because I spent so much time putting them together, but I do not use them. That is because I tend to be someone who likes to have the inspiration out in front of me as I am working and see it all spread out. That's why Pinterest works so well for me, because I can see everything all at once. I can flip through the images, or I can pull up the whole bulletin board at once. I've got my bulletin board behind me with pieces of inspiration on it. That's how it works best for me. I also like to have an idea book that I bring into my scrapbook space with me and have it out in front of me. Several of my favorite scrapbook inspiration idea books I've actually taken into Staples and had the binding cut off and haven't had a coil binding put in so I can open them and lay them flat. So that is how I like to do it. Other people might find this binder method works really well for them because they will go to the binder and flip through till they find what they're looking for. While I love the idea and I loved the process of putting it together, like I mentioned, I have never once gone and looked through, maybe once or twice, gone and looked through these. But I go to my Pinterest boards all the time. If I'm looking for a card idea, I'll just pull up my Pinterest board. It works very easily for me. Now, if you haven't already downloaded a copy of my Pinterest report for scrapbookers, you can find that, and I'll put a link right here where you can get that. You have to tweet. You have to pay me with a tweet to get it. I will have a way for you to get it if you're not on Twitter in the future, but right now it's only available for those who tweet, and they can get it. It's actually layoutaday.com/Pinterest, and you can get it right there if you're looking for some ideas about Pinterest or are wondering how that works. Other people find that websites work really well. Bookmarks, Evernote. It just depends on what works best for you. So I would suggest you spend some time thinking about if something like a binder is going to work for you, or where do you typically get inspiration now? Do you see something in your physical world and then you immediately go scrapbook, or do you sit down and work with books? Something else I did that worked for years for me is at a couple previous CHAs, I took photos of color combinations, layout ideas, things like that, and I printed them out, and I put them on this huge binder ring about this big. I had about over 100 photos on this binder ring, and I would flip through that, and I'd take it into my scrapbook space with me. I'd have it right there and use that as a way to inspire my scrapbooking. There are tons of manners, but it just matters most how you like to receive your inspiration and what you get your inspiration from, whether it's a color combination, a song, journal notes. Think about where you tend to start your layouts now, and then develop a manner for tracking inspiration that's going to feed right into your existing process, so you do not have to recreate a process of scrapbooking. If you're someone who gets inspiration from song titles, have a document on your hard drive, or in your iPhone, or in your notebook, or wherever, where you just jot down those song titles, and when it's time to scrapbook, you've got your inspiration right there. So I didn't have a definitive answer for you, but I can definitively tell you that this manner does not work for me. It might work for you, and if it does, let me know, because maybe I'll send you these binders. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.